Okay, the dancers are also, you're not even wishing us back, huh? Good morning. Thank you, Villamari, for having me here today, especially the Department of Commerce for inviting me to the Commercio Esena. Thank you so much. The name is brilliant. The enthusiasm is amazing. I truly hope this event will be a great success. With the invitation itself, when Revati ma'am and the team, they all had come to invite me, I could feel a sense of internationalism. I said this is an event that shouldn't be missed. So I am here today, and especially it's always a pleasure meeting the bright young minds, reminds ourselves of the younger version of us. So it's always good to be here among you young crowd. And today I'm glad nations like Belgium, Sri Lanka, Switzerland, Mexico, South Africa, China and UAE, all of these nations and their cultures, their trade practices, etc. are being showcased here in today's event. I would like to tell all the students here that these countries are truly very important for India as trade partners. So as policy makers, as member of parliaments, as state governments, as bureaucrats, all of us try to understand these countries in a much better way. I am sure with this event today, most of you students understand it in a very great way. And I am glad I am here today. I will be able to see much more for myself also. Although I have visited many of these nations, it is always better to know these countries more. And today I will have to just tell you this thing which is truly important, especially in your field of commerce. In these times, it's important to be an internationalist by mindset. And why do I say this? The students of economics and commerce, I'm sure you must be following what's happening in the world today. It is a different world. Earlier, China was a very closed country, but now they're opening up. They're saying we are going to revamp our old Silk Route. We want to be in touch with the world, and they're opening up doors to the world. And countries like USA, which were very open and all inviting, suddenly are restricting their economic policies, suddenly are saying that we are not going to let everybody in, we will be closing in on ourselves. I believe the students of economic and commerce truly should understand these changing aspects of the world, because this means whatever changes happening outside India are going to affect India and Indians also in a truly invasive manner. Unless and until we understand this, we will not be able to get ourselves ready and be prepared for the job market tomorrow. When I say job market, I'm sure all of you want to land up in a great job. All of you want to be in the best of the possible companies. But I would like to urge with you, if you are working in the field of finance, try to be the best portfolio manager that you can ever be. And if you want to be work in the investment, maybe match Warren Buffett or even beat him for that sense. And if you want to be working in corporate, be like Indra Nui, where everybody talks about her. And if you want to be in the economics field, be like Geeta Gopinath, aspire to be next Geeta Gopinath. And why do I say this? Because just being here at Villamari is not easy. All of you who got admitted into Villamari, I'm sure must have went through a rigorous, not at all easy to be in Villamari. And I can say that you are very lucky to be in a college like this. Because not every girl in this world gets an opportunity to be in a place like this. You are here, you have beaten the odds, come here, and trust me, please don't waste this opportunity. And when I say don't waste this opportunity, I know young minds don't like advice, so I'm not going to advise you. I'm only going to tell you this. The world is not as easy as it is at Villamari. So you will have to constantly keep upgrading yourself. You will have to constantly keep updating yourself, and unless and until you do that, it won't be an easy world out there. And let me quote you Darwin here, because Darwin always says it is a survival of the fittest. And men always used to, twist these words, and they say we are fit so we can survive. And Darwin explains in his works that being fit doesn't mean being strong. Being fit means being adaptable, being cooperative, being more thoughtful and aware of the changing environments. And today's changing world, please be more fit in the sense, be more adaptive, be more cooperative. I can give you an example from the Villa Mary College itself. If two of your friends get an interview call at a very prestigious corporation, what would you do? Probably you will not tell your friend that you got an interview call, prepare on your own, go attend, you get a job, you don't get a job, different story. But I can tell you this, if two of you get an interview call, if both of you prepare together, if both of you learn about various perspectives of that corporation that has given you a chance for the interview, I'm sure you'll have a better odds of beating the interview, and I'm sure you'll have a better odds of getting in the job for both of you together. I mean, the world out there, we have been taught this, that competition is what takes you further. But competition will only take you to a level, and then you are just there. You don't get ahead. But cooperation will take you much, much, much further. So I truly would suggest the students that be cooperative, be open. Nobody can steal your opportunities. You'll have to just be confident and keep working as a team. And because you are so many young girls, I do not want to leave without telling you one of my favorite stories. And this is a story about a woman called Kadambini Ganguly. I've repeated this story many times, but yet once again I want to share this with you. This Kadambini Ganguly in 1882 was the first Asian woman to become a first doctor, lady doctor. And imagine, this was the time when Harvard was not admitting women into their colleges. This was the time when Cambridge was not admitting women into its colleges. Indians, we should be very proud. We were the first country to admit a woman into Calcutta University of Medicine and produce the first doctor in the whole of the Asia. But it did not come easy to us. Today when Villa Mary admissions are open, parents line up to join their kids in Villa Mary. But that was not the time, where it happened. That was the time when Kadambini and her husband had to really struggle for 4 to 5 years to get her into admission. Then put up through all the opposition that they faced from the society. But then yes, they stuck together, they made sure that she became a doctor. Now tomorrow when you go out into the world, I just want to tell you this. Girls will be facing two challenges. One, challenge with ourselves, our families. Two, with the men of the world and especially the men in our life. It could be a partner, it could be a father, it could be a brother, it could be anybody. But unless and until we shine so bright that the men in our lives feel and understand that she is clear about her goal and I cannot stop her, I better cooperate with her. That is when you will be successful. And I don't say it in a derogatory manner. Often men take you for granted. They will be like, very, I don't want to use this word in a professional setup, but I will now today. They will treat you in a very kuchi manner. They'll be like, oh, it's okay, I understand, I know you. But don't be like that. Be very strong. Put a very strong foot forward. Tell them clearly what you want. And make sure the men in your life, it could be your father, brother, husband, whoever it is, to be on your side. Tell them that if we compete against each other, we're not going to go anywhere. If we cooperate with each other, both of us, as a family, as a unit, we will grow. And I'm sure you know much more about trade, world trade. You have displayed a great deal of initial dance. I truly congratulate all the students who have participated in the dance. It was amazing. I was tapping my foot all along, clapping hands all along, taking pictures. It was a brilliant dance. And also had a wonderful message that trade is not a bad thing. Trade certainly is not a bad thing. As India, as a nation, as people, we have to be open-minded. We have to understand different cultures, trade with the world. But today, JSG probably will elaborate on it later on. But today, as India, we face two difficulties. One risk and one opportunity, one challenge that all of us have to keep in mind. India is one of the fastest growing economy. In fact, in purchasing power parity, GDP, we are third, only after US and China. But yet, we are at a greater risk today. Because we are a nation of people who have lowest of the income per capita. So each person, the income that each person earns is not as big as our GDP seems to be. So we are at a greater risk. We are at a risk of being exploited by the world. Now, here is a question of how to stop our country from getting exploited. And the only solution is innovate. Unless and until we innovate better processes, unless and until we innovate better business models, unless and until we invest more and more into innovation, we will not be able to rise the quality of our job market, rise the quality of our human resources. So this is a risk as commerce students, as economic students, you should certainly understand. And another challenge, also an opportunity, is in the coming years, we will have many more innovations like artificial intelligence will be very disruptive, very intrusive. It will pierce into our markets and probably take away many of our jobs. But we should be prepared to address it, and we should be prepared to invest more and more in high quality education. Villa Mary has shown path, and you've broken many routines earlier. So I urge Madam Philomena here today, ma'am, please do introduce certain courses which can guide the students in these departments to find themselves, to be there and become a high quality human resource for this nation. Unless and until we do that, we cannot imagine to be creating entrepreneurs. We cannot imagine to be creating more and more job creators. So I urge the Villa Mary College to take the first step. And as Government of Telangana, we will be with you, we will stand by you and support you in every initiative that we take. In fact, throughout the first dance, I was requesting Philomena ma'am, it is time all of us in Hyderabad should create a new literature festival only exclusively for students, and we should make an effort towards it. And then I also requested Philomena ma'am to take the first step, because yes, students are reading quite a lot, although not very conventionally from a book, maybe a tab or a phone or a Snapchat, but whatever, you are reading. I want you to continue doing that. But then, yes, you need to also understand the politics behind it. You need to understand the vested interest behind it. You basically need to understand what is happening in the world. So let us plan for bigger things for Hyderabad, bigger things for our girls. And I'm very happy to be here. And I can only say, you are the wonderful crowd, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.